All right. Welcome to another episode of Attention Wrestling Disorder, episode 44. I can't keep track. I am RJ Show, the whole show, nothing but the whole fucking damn show.
I am Chucky COVID, and the reason I said is I had my second round of COVID I'm recovering from right now. I feel fine, pretty much no symptoms, but I am technically in quarantine from COVID still, so here we are.
And the only man to ever watch Main Event and Level Up because no one else gives a shit, and Tama Tonga's biggest fan.
And I am the Hot Rod 521. Not your 1, not your 2, not your 3, not your 4, not your 5, not even your 6, but your 7-time ELW World Fantasy Champion.
The modded champion.
Yeah, you mean the company that is yours, and you're a fucking champion. Oh, okay, Tanahashi.
Tanahashi champion.
Oh, that's why I'm sorry. Only Omega's allowed that privilege. I'm sorry.
Omega's a vice president. You own the fucking company.
Yes, that still counts.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, oh, yes, it definitely does.
No, it doesn't.
The Tanahashi champion. I'm officially rephrasing the league championship to the Tanahashi champion.
And after my intro, and you walked into that, and you didn't even respond. That's awesome. Just saying.
He's more mad about the comparison to Tanahashi and Omega than he is about him being the only person to watch either show.
Or the fact that he is Tama Tonga's #1 fan.
Oh, he is Tama Tonga's #1 fan.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay, then Tanahashi's #1 fan.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you're not calling me Naito's #1 fan because, again, who win like every fucking year? It's either Okada or Naito with the goddamn title. Oh, and how many times do you have to see Despy versus Takahashi? I mean,
great match.
Enough with that bullshit.
That match was fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, you mean when it was on like 2 years ago or last year? I mean, it's the same fucking match.
I've been watching that match since 2015, guys. I don't know what you're talking about.
Wrestle Kingdom happened, and that's what we're talking about right now.
Yes, so let's start there.
You realize it was the most watched Wrestle Kingdom in Wrestle Kingdom history?
This one was, I believe that, because you had a lot of great matches. You had, of course, one of my favorite matches of the card, which was a great one, was Okada Daniel.
I think, like, to me, the biggest surprise of the night was how short the unification match was.
Yeah.
I took that match to go a lot longer than what it did.
Which match are you talking about?
The tag titles, Bishamon versus ELP and Hikuleo.
Oh, you mean your clone and
the clone who lost his title? Yes.
Good. I didn't. You know that they're another group of people who always fucking win.
I don't like Bishamon at all. They put on good matches, but I don't like them. I don't like Goto, and I don't like Yoshihashi. They're like two guys in New Japan that I don't care for.
And then let's see what else. I mean, Danielson match was great. Okada Danielson too.
That was a great
Moxley in Japan is fucking awesome.
I love Moxley in Japan. I wish he would just stay there. I'm done with him in AEW. It's stale. It's old. And the best part about Moxley's matches at both Wrestle Kingdom and New Year's Dash is he barely bled. He bled a little bit at Kingdom, but not like AEW bleeding.
I don't mind the bleeding. I just mind like how he is in the ring in Japan versus how he is
forever. I prefer him in Japan. He's great in Japan. Love that.
Finley and Ospreay. That was a fucking great match.
Finley was winning that title.
What happened, Rod?
You pretty much knew Finley was winning that match.
Well, nobody else was logical because Ospreay's on the way out and Moxley isn't a regular there. He's more.
And so that's how you knew Finley was winning that match.
But and that's also how you know his deal's up because he put Finley over on the way out. I know he's got a few more appearances, but like that was his
February 11th is his last match.
Unlike Moxley, he took the most bumps in that match. Usually you'd see Moxley taking the most amount of bumps in a match, and it was fucking Finley.
But the funniest moment of the night though was Alex Coughlin getting stuck in the table.
Oh, God, that was at least it wasn't.
Yeah, they officially got a
what
meme
was
for
the
that
bump?
now. That's officially become a meme.
What was
Alex
the bump
Coughlin?
though that failed miserably? Was it Nick Wayne bouncing off a table? At least Conklin just got in the table. At least the table broke.
Yeah, it was a better botch than
Man, they need some bigger
we'll
tables.
touch on that later,
Look
gentlemen.
at those small ass
We have a
tables
lot
they
to say
be
about that
having.
too.
Was that even a botch? Or I mean, the table still broke.
I mean, he just got stuck. I
I
mean,
don't think it was a botch. I think he just the way he landed.
plus those New Japan tables are small as fuck.
They're different too. They're not like the big tables. They're not
Yeah,
like
those tables are
tables
small as hell.
They're not like the industrial tables that like AEW, WWE usually. They're little tiny. They're like these awkward coffee tables. Like they're like end tables that they use. Those are these little tables. What was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought on that. I was gonna say something. Oh yes, that's what I was gonna say. So I read an article literally right before we did this. It was I think on E-Wrestling News, and they said top New Japan stars contract is expiring next month. That person was Alex Coughlin. Wouldn't call him a top star.
You sure?
That's what they said. Yeah, Alex Coughlin's
I
contract.
thought it was Okada who was about to expire.
I think he's up too, though. No, believe it or not, like a lot of wrestlers, their contracts wrap up like right after Wrestle Kingdom. That's common in New Japan.
Here's the thing: he's not a top star. He was freaking young lion for like years, and until recently.
Did he have a career year last year? Yes. Is he a top star or no?
But all the War Dogs had a good career, had a good year last year. Like the War Dogs had a good run last year, and it's still going.
They had career years last year, but I wouldn't call them top stars.
I'm actually glad that Carl Fredericks went to WWE as Eddie Thorpe because he wouldn't have just saddled in that Bullet Club faction.
What about Alex? I mean, I don't see him. Do you think he's going to do well outside of New Japan?
Alex Coughlin? Maybe on NXT or maybe in AEW, but I don't see him yet.
I don't see him winning. I don't know. I just don't see him.
Problem is, Coughlin, he needs like a good manager because let's just face it, Coughlin's not going to impress you with his mic skills.
I'm all about Coughlin's mic skills. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't think he's good at his own.
If you put him with the right manager, he could be.
Right.
Well, if Stokely wasn't so busy with Statlander, maybe he could be. Well, I guess he could do both.
You could see he might renew though too, just because a certain contract doesn't mean guys do renew. For all we know, Okada could still be renewing.
Right. I mean, speaking of send-offs, Asuka Lorbe, Yuto Nakashima, that was their final match before their excursion. I wonder where they're headed for the excursion.
I thought they already. Wait a minute. What's his name? Already had an excursion.
Which one?
Let's call him Angry Lion.
I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about Lorbe and Nakashima. That match they had with God at New Year's Dash was their last match before the excursion.
Oh, you talking about those young lions?
Yes, they're getting ready. They're going on the excursion now.
Oh, gotcha.
To where I have no idea yet.
I'd assume maybe Strong or maybe even Impact.
Oh yeah. Oh, Oscar Lube, the one I think looks like James Lafferty, the guy who played Nathan Scott on One Tree Hill.
Also,
overweight version.
Big news coming out of MLW. So the next big event is Super Fight, and the main event is going to be Alex Kane versus Satoshi Kojima for the MLW World Title.
Cool. I hope he wins his world title again. I love Kojima in MLW. He was good in MLW.
Speaking of MLW, someone who recently debuted on MLW debuted on New Year's Dash.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. He also got like a huge win on Kings of Coliseum last night too.
That's what I'm talking about. He beat Fatu?
He tapped him out.
I'm not surprised. I gotta watch it now.
Let's talk about another debut that you guys failed to mention, and it happened
We haven't gotten there yet.
Wait a minute.
We just started. Relax. Slow down.
We're already talking about it.
So let's discuss it now. Yeah, so now it's a good segue. Also, Wrestle Kingdom.
He's here to tell the world, or he's here to show the world, and he's showing them in Japan.
Apparently, he doesn't work there, though.
Oh, yeah. Right.
In his interview, he doesn't work there. He apologized. He doesn't work there, and he was mad that David Finlay got in his grill and stuff.
We all know it's going to lead to a match against Finlay.
It's going to have to. It's a logical thing. I want to see Dolph in Japan, or Nick Nemeth. But it's a NIC Nemeth, so we'll see.
And is everyone else going to ignore him the way they do on AEW anyway, that Ryan Nemeth was there too?
Ryan Nemeth, who's that? No, I'm kidding.
I talk about Nick's baby brother.
I know who he's talking about. I'm kidding. On the last cruise I went on, he was actually, I met him. He was actually really cool. He was a cool guy.
All right, I got to table that because I am like, there are some stuff that I saw in New Japan and I'm seeing it in AEW, and it has to do with Namath. It has to do with a lot of these extra guys. I mean, I'm surprised that what's-his-face is actually going for the titles now. Chase Owen.
Yeah, Chase Owens. Once in a while, they give him a push, then they kind of like he'll get a push, he'll get his little whatever, and then like they'll kind of pull him back. They do a lot of that with him.
I mean, as we saw, everyone in KOP was pretty much people that you don't really see used a lot.
Well, that's, I think, the idea of it, which is good.
And yet the guy who is kind of in a faction that's really like in the black hole is the guy who won the match. Yes, I'm talking about Ishimori.
Props to him for that, though.
Yeah, well, Bullet Club's like in an awkward place, and I feel like Ishimori falls in that awkward like middle ground of it all. They're on paper they're trying to make it like promoting it as that they're all the war dogs and it's a house of torture, which I hate that that's the way they're going with it. But hey,
AEW is about to kind of ruin the Bullet Club, and I'm a little annoyed about that. If you, we'll talk about that in a little bit because I'm annoyed about that.
About how they're baby facing Bullet Club Gold.
Not just that, where they're putting like. Should I bring it up now or should we wait?
It's all the same. We'll work our way back to it. You know we will.
The Acclaimed and the fucking Bullet Club Gold together, I don't see it.
I don't either. I think it's stupid.
I don't see it benefiting.
It's the age-old situation. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. So.
Yeah, but to make it if it's a one-off, maybe, but I just don't see Jay White.
It's gonna be it'll be a one-off. It ain't gonna be like, oh, they're gonna be together after they finish their.
It's gonna be a one-off, but I think it's gonna be a one-off, but I think it's
they neither one of them is gonna beat the Undisputed Kingdom by themselves. So combining forces is their best bet.
Hot Rod's in character now. It's fucking Blurry Fan Guy.
Yes. Do I need to name this episode Blurry Ceiling Part 2?
No, this is COVID Part 2.
Chuck versus COVID Part 2.
Yeah, this is COVID Part 2.
All right, let's go Part 2.
And I'm not on the end of it this time. It's you and
just me.
Well, I know that Devin is supposedly coming on.
Just Chuck versus COVID Part 2.
Chuck versus COVID Part 2. I definitely got it at World's End, but we'll touch on that in a little bit. I think.
So back to New Japan, we had. Let's see, what did we? It's nice to see that the president of the company still is winning titles.
Yeah, Rod loves that.
In a 9-minute match.
Right.
9-minute match.
Hey, apparently. It's wrong if you're president, but if you're vice president, it's okay to win world titles. But if you're a president who wins the TV title, it's wrong, apparently, according to Radio J, ladies and gentlemen.
To win a title in AEW, he's only won titles in New Japan, and he is one of the best wrestlers in the goddamn world.
Tanahashi is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time.
Tanahashi is freaking.
It's one of the
It's
greatest
put
of all
on-
time. If you're gonna say that about Omega, you say that about Tanahashi too.
Tanahashi is the John Cena of New Japan.
Right.
He is.
Well, that's a hell of a comparison then.
What does that make Okada?
The Randy Orton.
Randy Orton.
Same problem.
My whole thing is Tanahashi. Zack Sabre Jr. deserves the. I don't know, like
Maybe
he
that's
should
why
be the one running with the title even longer because I feel like Zack Sabre Jr. is finally on his own. You know, he's now a faction leader.
Yes, he had a great run with that title.
Right, that's why they took it off because he's going to go on to greater titles. He's going to be in contention. I'm telling
He
you,
had a great run with that
would-
championship.
I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I would love it if Zack Sabre won G1 this year. I'm hoping.
He should not. It should have been a longer match because I feel like his talent was wasted in that match.
That's because Tanahashi can't go anymore. Excuse me. Because Tanahashi can't
The thing
go
that
anymore.
surprised me the most was the fact that they didn't take the straps off of them. Like, I
Which
thought
is
for
why
sure
he
that
shouldn't have won the
Cobb
damn
and
title
Hanora
in
and
the
Great
first
Cobb
place.
were winning that match and taking the straps off of them.
I think no. I mean, you guys are complaining about Tanahashi booking himself to win a title, but you're having him win.
No. Don't take you guys. Only Radio J is. He's the one that's complaining.
So
You mean RJ Show?
RJ Show
Yes.
is complaining because Tanahashi won the most mid-card title in the world as president.
Because Tanahashi, to me, if you're just take a back seat now.
Dude, he just elevated Sabre Jr. It's fine. That's why I'm
Right,
upset.
exactly. So that means Omega should never win another championship against because he's in power too, right? Neither should the Young Bucks, right? And
Young
we're going
Bucks
by
always
that
do.
logic.
Well,
And we're going by that
They
logic.
will always be champions. Always. They're great. Don't hate the players, hate the game.
Exactly. Damn it. But
Nah, but I want going
I
back.
have a feeling. I mean, if maybe they're going to put it on Riddle, I have no idea. But you know, if they're going to put Riddle up against Tanahashi, obviously.
No, if they put that on Riddle, that'd be awesome. I could see them doing that. I mean, granted, I feel like at this point in Tanahashi's career, anytime he has a title, he's always a transitional champion anyway. It's like that great feel good. Oh, great, Tanahashi won it, and then you transition it anyway. It was
Notice how
the only reason he beat Kenny Omega for the title is because Kenny Omega was starting AEW. So the reason he lost it.
Rod, how did they present him last night?
Who?
Riddle.
Oh, the King of Bros.
But did he look like the jackass who's always stoned?
No, like he was very impressive last night. Like he was still came out there fist pumping everybody, but he was very good in that match. He was very impressive.
And the way they showed him in New Japan,
But, you know, like him and Fatu was the main event too. Not Kane versus Holiday, but him and Fatu was the main event.
And was it a good main event?
Oh, very good main event. Both men showed out in that match.
I feel
I
like
think while the MLW faithful was happy that Riddle was back, Fatu definitely had got the bigger pop of the two.
I really think that Fatu needs to move on and go somewhere else.
Fatu has been the most popular guy in MLW ever since Contra broke up.
Fatu's over now because Contra broke up. Got it.
Very over.
A babyface because Contra broke up. You know what my favorite member of Contra was?
What?
Simon
Matt Kruger.
Gotch.
Oh,
Who?
yeah.
I love Simon Gotch.
Simon Gotch, yeah.
Yeah, he was in there. Daivari was in there. They had this quite the faction for a while.
Isn't the other guy with Alex Kane now?
No.
Isn't Alex Kane's manager the same guy who was the manager of Contra?
No.
Oh.
I haven't watched MLW in a while.
MLW, I don't know.
But
I
I
haven't
think
watched it in a while
Sammy Callahan made his return to MLW last night.
I heard.
Is Sami Callihan done with Impact?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been done, right?
Been done since October. Since like right before Bound for Glory.
Is MLW though, like, does MLW have the capacity or to be where the other two companies are?
No.
Not yet.
They don't. The only reason that no companies are on their level is because there's not enough funding for them. That's it. If they had the funding that WWE and AEW had, they'd be on level with them, but none of them have the funding. The only reason that holds companies back is none of them have funding.
What MLW is doing though, it's kind of like, it just seems like it's been done. Saint Laurent is doing the World Titan, kind of like a slap in the face to WWE, the World Titan Federation or whatever it is, or
Right.
what the fuck, WTF. And it just seems like, okay, didn't you sort of do this already?
Right. It was always been kind of like that. Excuse me, guys. I'm yawning. I'm ridiculous. No,
We're not talking about Impact though, so how could you be yawning?
it's true. I mean, we're talking about talents relating to Impact, so I'm automatically getting in the Impact brain, and it's just.
God, you hater.
I'm just trying to figure out.
If we start talking about Impact, I'm taking a nap for real.
NWA has the deal with CW. Why is MLW only, with YouTube? I feel like, yes,
they got a fight. They got a fight deal or Triller now, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, they've had that fight deal for a while though.
No, they just recently got that fight deal like sometime last year.
I feel like they had it a while ago too. Maybe they renewed it. I don't know. I feel like they have a deal with.
I feel like network TV is still relevant because obviously with WWE and AEW on network TV, it seems like they're getting more exposure.
Problem is, it's not as easy as people think to get a TV deal. Look at ECW back in 2000.
It's not.
That's what killed them, is that they couldn't get a TV deal.
Exactly.
They did have one.
Why you think Tony Khan didn't freaking accept CW's offer to put Ring of Honor on it?
I don't know why he said no. You don't know why he said no. This is another case of,
we don't know what happens behind closed doors.
I do appreciate it on Honor Club though. I mean, the weekly episodes are great on Honor Club. You get more women's matches on Honor. You get more women's matches on Ring of Honor in one episode. You might feel like the whole entire week of 3 freaking AEW shows.
Does Honor Club have a good subscription base though?
Yeah. Don't let that dumbass Disco Inferno fool you. More people have Honor Club than watch that dumbass's podcast.
No one gives a fuck about Glenn Gilberti. He's always been a fucking idiot, and he always will be a fucking idiot. Anything he says.
Hey. Listen. Now I'm gonna be a dick now. I'm still waiting for my built-in evil architect gimmick, okay?
Whatever you say, cancer supporter.
What happened?
Whatever you say, cancer supporter.
Hey. Hey. I love that he's back. I love that we haven't done one of these since he's been back, so I'm going to he's coming back on Monday. I can't wait.
Give me 1 second. I want to see if my lunch came.
I find hilarious the most? The fact that idiot has a behavior clause in his contract.
I think that's great.
That tells you all you need to know right there. The fact that he had a behavior clause put in his contract.
Well, don't piss Punk off. You guys are all a bunch of haters. You're all hating on Punk for no reason.
No. He got that put in there because he's a piece of shit, but that's another story.
Punk's the man. Stop hating.
He's a damn cancer.
You two are such marks.
Hey, you pot me kettle over there.
I'm out of mark.
Okay.
Punk mark.
So it's okay to destroy the morality of a locker room that has had no issues. Well, has had okay, Sammy
Put
Guevara,
it
but
way, the issues they had were nowhere near as bad as anything Punk did.
You know what's great? Jack Perry still not on TV.
I don't understand why though.
Right? From what I heard, his suspension has been held. Unless they just don't have nothing for him.
You know, Britt Baker has not been on TV, and I saw an interview with her recently where she's basically saying she's kind of been just stepping aside to let the other women, you know, do their thing and have other people
But you
step
know why
up.
she hasn't wrestled in forever, right?
Why?
Because her back is bad. Her back is as bad as Thunder Rosa's back was.
They get beat up. They take bumps. They take hits.
Well, if
When she was getting on, you know,
I need her to come back.
those
I need
injections
her
By the
to
way,
in her back, yeah.
I'm not going to hold you. Sky Blue is beautiful. Just want to put that out there.
Sky Blue is fucking awesome.
Yeah, I mean, she wrestled the most matches out of any AEW female last year for AEW.
Because she wrestled on everything.
I think one of the things they need to do is have more women's matches on the other shows.
Here's what
You know,
I don't understand. Here's what I don't understand about AEW a little. I love AEW. I know we're a pro AEW show here, and everybody looks at us as being one, as we are. But here's my one critique: you have all this programming, and you still cram the same few people on every one of them, and there's like so many talent that are there that you're not seeing because of it.
I feel like they have been showing, you know, more talent on Rampage.
Yeah, you got to watch Rampage for that. Exactly. Even though I will
But
say
yeah,
Rampage
you're
was
right.
See, and
Here's
Rampage
what
is a good
annoyed me,
show.
you know?
Like, people want to hate on Rampage. It's not the fact that Rampage is a bad show. The bad thing about Rampage is the time slot.
How about this?
Collision has a
Sting
better time.
and Darby Allin, they fought. They fought. Was that last night where they fought jobbers, right?
The
Yeah.
workhorseman.
Yeah, that was last.
Oh, workhorse, but never mind. Didn't they fight like? Didn't they go up against a tag team that was just like? What I'm saying is, I think didn't we see them on Wednesday also?
Who?
Sting and Darby Allin.
Yeah, they're on everything. They put. I mean, I get why they're putting Sting on a little bit more, just because
Because of his retirement, yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to push retirement. I get it. I mean, I respect.
I can't call the workhorsemen jobbers because they're actually credible wrestlers.
They're great wrestlers. But again,
I don't think it was a good idea for Eddie Kingston to face Anthony, one of the workhorsemen, in a championship match on a pay-per-view like that, because I feel like they didn't really build it up.
Speaking of Kingston, him and Trent, man, that was a hell of a match last night.
That was a good match. I actually watched that before.
Trent took
on the
a
back
lot
end. It's pretty good. What happened, Jay?
Trent took a lot of punishment.
Trent's a good hand in the ring. I like Trent a lot. I like all the best friends. They're all really talented.
As long as this keeps elevating, you know what? Trent Beretta has been with the company since day one, and he's always being used. So that's a good. So I do commend Tony Khan for that.
It just sucks, you know, Chuck's injured right now.
Oh, Chuck Taylor, yeah.
But Trent Beretta,
I always liked him more than Chuck Taylor anyway.
Has been used a lot more than other wrestlers, which, you know, it's just. So I do appreciate that they keep using him in matches and storylines.
Yeah, no, it's always good.
I mean, and you got to thank his mom too, because she helps.
Yeah, she does. She's over.
But yeah, Sue was there last night.
She was. I saw her in the crowd. Yep.
Yep, she was. I'm sure that they did that on purpose because, you know, it was a big match for. Do you think and I mean, like, the whole thing with him, his nose breaking, he bled a lot last night.
Yeah.
That was, I mean, that was a good fucking match. When you put Eddie Kingston in the ring with anyone, it's always going to be a good match.
I agree.
But
Oh,
what
My
do you
personal
think about the
opinion,
match
Eddie
he had
Kingston.
on the pay-per-view?
I will say this right now. I will go as far as saying Eddie Kingston was the AEW MVP of 2023.
Eddie
I will go
Kingston.
that far.
All right,
I agree.
gentlemen. On that note, we got Dom coming in. We got Mr. Guest of the Day, Dom coming in. It's a perfect segue to discuss this and then lead into World's End.
Well, I do have a question for you and Dom.
Oh boy, let's get him in. See how he's feeling. See how he's looking.
When I see Dom's face, I'll let you know.
There he is.
I still won't see him.
Welcome, Mr. Ruffles. How are you?
Good, Chucky. How's it going?
Good. How you feeling, homie? We're discussing this is Chuck versus COVID part 2. So how you feeling on your end, homie?
This is my second go with it, and it sucks. Just as bad as the
My
first one.
question is,
Damn. So you
did
got
every
it.
single person in Nassau Coliseum get COVID that night?
Did every single
One of us had it. I don't know which one of us had it. One of us had it.
One of us.
Damn.
It's either me from a party I was at the night before, or maybe Dennis didn't know he had it, or maybe some
For our
random
loyal
person
viewers
here.
there, he can go show you it's still out there. So be careful.
Be
Yeah.
careful. That's it. Yeah, COVID round 2.
It was definitely worth it, though. Definitely worth it.
Oh, 1,000% worth it.
I don't think it was just the two of you, though. It probably was more people that got it, too. It was probably more people.
And probably, it's like one of those things at this point where you can't even stem it anymore because it's just like anything's possible.
Exactly.
So Chuck, you've just been doing quarantine in your basement pretty much?
Yeah, I've been going stir crazy. I've been in my apartment since Thursday night when I tested. Well, what happened was I was feeling the symptoms Thursday morning. Like I woke up with a sore throat and like a stuffy nose. I didn't think anything of it. And then Chuck texted me Thursday night and he's like, "Hey, FYI, I just tested positive for COVID. You might want to test yourself."
Yeah.
And I was like, "What symptoms do you have?" And he's like, "Stuffy nose." And I was like, "Shit." So I tested myself and then it came back positive. And I was like, "Oh, well, that sucks."
So either I gave it to you, you gave it to me, maybe Dennis gave it to us. Maybe that Mark next to us at the Coliseum gave it to us.
It could very well be.
Could be anything.
Damn.
No, because what's crazy is, oh no, it was the night. No, I went to the party the night after the wrestling, and it's funny too because I tested before I went to the party because of my Nassau Coliseum curse, and on New Year's Eve I tested negative.
Were you feeling anything though?
No.
Yeah.
Maybe like normal allergies, but like I would say probably trying to think the day. I think I started feeling the stuffy nose maybe Tuesday.
Okay.
And I thought it was a sinus infection. I'm like, okay, whatever, because I had the pressure and I had the headache. I'm like, that's probably just sinus infection. I get them all the time, like the New Year.
So
go ahead.
Well, I hope you guys feel better, and we're going to talk about that in a bit. I just want to, since we're talking about AEW and about to talk about World's End,
yes,
I just want to point out how big of a moron Kevin Kelly is. Why would the Kingdom align themselves with Adam Cole? Hey, moron! If you're not paying attention, Adam Cole and the Kingdom are the Kingdom.
But here's the kicker: Kevin Kelly was commentating in Ring of Honor, and Adam Cole was in the Kingdom.
That's true. He was.
I don't like Kevin Kelly because he just doesn't know how to tell stories. He's better in AEW than he was in New Japan, but he still stinks at it. It's like listening.
I don't know who I hate more at this point, if it's Riccaboni or Kevin Kelly.
Oh God, here we go. But I want to say this now. Like everybody's talking about this whole Adam Cole being revealed as the devil thing. Let's not forget that Samoa Joe, in Long Island, cleanly choked out MJF.
That was
cleanly choked out MJF.
That was bullshit. Armed him up all the way.
The reason he did is because Adam Cole was fumbling with the ring, was fumbling.
So how's that on Joe?
Samoa Joe
never went down. That wasn't a clean finish. It wasn't.
No, because his arm stopped here.
Yeah.
And they just rung the bell. It was the Nassau Coliseum screw job.
Right.
It was.
Right.
That's just because you don't appreciate MJF, Rod. That's the problem.
Right.
You're a mark.
Stop hating on the fact Joe choked him out.
Joe never choked him
MJF
out.
run.
MJF.
Oh, yes, he did.
As much as I love MJF, it was time for someone else to take the belt.
I'm fine with the title change. I'm fine with the story. I just don't like this hate on MJF for no reason when he's my scumbag.
He's
True
our
story.
scumbag.
True story. Joe is going to be a transitional champion.
Of course he is.
That's it. He's a placeholder.
Yeah.
He's going to have it for a while.
I don't think so. I give it to him for a couple of months.
He'll have it for a little while, but not like a super long time. It's not gonna be like an MJF run.
Yeah.
It won't be an MJF run.
And the only thing that I have to say that I don't like is how they already ruined. Well, Wardlow's already ruined, but they ruined him even more by already planting the face turn, and he just turned heel again. Like, give it some time. Let it build up. Instead, you already planted the seeds for the face turn.
He's been a heel since he returned.
Not really. You didn't know where he was. He was just power bombing people and then going like saying that he's gonna go after MJF.
He's definitely trying to say. As soon as Cole said that dumbass statement about how Wardlow's going to hand him the world title when he wins it, like, Wardlow ain't going to last in this group too long.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, and he made a face, but we saw that Wardlow was turning heel when he kept going after MJF, who's a face right now. So
that is a heel. That was like when Roderick Strong started bitching at Adam Cole for being friends with MJF over him. That was like his whiny heel turn.
My question is, storyline wise, when did the swerve start? When did the whole was it while Better Than You Baby was going on, or was that part of the whole plan?
It probably happened right after Cole lost the main event to MJF.
I'll say that the seeds were planted in the very beginning when the devil mask was hanging on Adam Cole's side in the locker room, and nobody even noticed it.
That's true. I was thinking that same thing. We actually said that at the Coliseum too, remember?
Yeah.
We said that too. We're like, watch him do those logos on the side. It's convenient.
Yeah. It was there the whole time, but we just didn't want to see it.
Yeah.
There was also someone made a comment about Adam Cole looked like he was pressing a button when the devil appeared on the screen.
Maybe.
I didn't notice that.
He was doing some James Bond stuff, and he was, hitting the detonator for the thing.
There's all these, but I mean, I enjoy this story because
it's a good story. Predictable but good. So
it seemed like something has to happen out of this. Someone's going to turn on someone at some point, because the whole thing was Adam Cole trying to chase the champion and basically turning MJF into the one thing that MJF would despise, a weak person.
Yep. They made him look like a weak person. Yes,
I think what it's going to lead to is the Kingdom versus the Pinnacle.
What happened?
I think it's going to lead to the Kingdom versus the Pinnacle.
I could see that, and I would love that.
Speaking of which, where the hell is Sean Spears been?
I heard
he left.
He left.
He got released, or he left, or whatever happened.
Did he?
Yeah, I think it's been
It's a rumor mill.
It's a rumor mill only.
It's a rumor mill only, but apparently he's going to be entered in the Royal Rumble at number 10 again. Because that's the only thing WWE knows how to do with him is, let's make him the 10th entrant of the Royal Rumble. You don't know what else to do with him. Am I wrong? What else has he done?
He'll be number 10 and X-Pac will be number 6.
I could see it.
Do we see Andrade coming into the Royal Rumble? I think so.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. That's probably what they're going to save him for. They'll probably come back with the theme too. I loved that, his WWE theme. If they were smart,
Andrade?
Yeah. It'd be interesting if Ito's deal ever goes up and he goes to WWE and they team him with Andrade. That would be cool and fresh.
Who does?
If Naito ever went to WWE and teamed with Andrade, that'd be a cool gimmick.
Oh, that would be cool. How about
what
if Dragon Lee teamed with Andrade?
That'd be fun too. Because
isn't that also part of the same faction?
Yeah, I think they were the faction at different times. Technically, if you count on AEW that short time, yes, but Otherwise, they were in it at like different times.
Because Dragon Lee, obviously, in Ring of Honor, was a part of that faction.
Right. La Faction de Ingobernable.
I could see them making a tag team between Carlito and Andrade, managed by Zelina. I could see that too.
That too.
You think Andrade's going to be in the LWO?
Wouldn't surprise me the way Nota B is. Wouldn't surprise me.
It's just funny that what's the other guy? Escobar is basically turned on his own guys from the other faction. They were in the faction before
He's forming a new Legado, basically.
Yeah.
I'm with it too with Garza and Carrillo. I'm totally about that little faction.
Yeah, I like that faction.
It gives them something finally.
Yeah, they don't know what to do with half these like Mexican wrestlers. It's a shame. I don't know. I feel like WWE like goes through these weird phases where they don't know what to do with certain types of wrestlers. Then like they finally get it, and then they go.
It's not just WWE.
What?
It's AEW. It's New Japan.
That's true.
If you look at it,
New Japan and AEW give more chances though than WWE does.
They have, yeah, they do.
Because they allow the wrestlers to wrestle in other companies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, when was the last time you really saw Master Wato do anything?
He just wrestled at New Year's Dash. He did the Battle Royal.
Yeah.
Okay. But when was the last time you saw him like with a major push, right?
The Super Junior Tag Classic.
Whatever. Whatever.
Like, he just had a push. I don't know what you're talking about.
Right, he did just win Best of Super Juniors last year, so.
Exactly.
Well, he wasn't the one in the Wrestle Kingdom Super in the Junior Championship main event. It was, again, the same people that are always in it, Despy and Hiromu.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Could have been him.
Should have been him.
Should have been, exactly.
I don't know why they did that, because he should have had his title match because he won it.
That's what I'm talking about, though. There are all these guys in these companies, and you just wonder, why aren't they being used?
I mean, I love Hiromu and I love Despy, but I would have been okay with Wato and Hiromu for that.
But the point I'm making is it's not just New Japan. I mean, Griff Garrison, we finally see Griff Garrison on AEW television other than watching him on the Ring of Honor.
Squashed by Edge. I watched that too. We got squashed by Edge. Edge made him look like a little biatch.
At least he got to be on TV.
That's true.
It wasn't a squash match, though. He went back and
I
forth.
agree. He got a lot of offense in that match.
Well, Edge is putting guys over. Edge, it's as awkward as Edge is in AEW. At least he's putting guys over. Speaking of Edge and segueing back into World's End, because ADD is a real thing here. Hey, gotta love that match, the Edge Christian match, and the botch of the night twice.
The match was great.
First of all, why didn't the table catch on fire?
It was the
Second
way they
of all,
it.
he bounced off the damn table.
It was a double botch because first the table didn't stay lit because it wasn't Edge who lit it. Edge needed to light it because Edge is the legitimate master of that, not Mrs. Wayne or whatever they're calling her.
The matron, whatever.
Matron.
But wasn't she a legit wrestler at one point?
I don't think so. No, his father was a wrestler.
I thought they said she wrestled too.
No,
I don't think so. She's just an obnoxious
How
character.
dare you,
Yeah,
boo!
she's very obnoxious. They both are.
How dare you, mother?
It's like having Vicky Guerrero in the role. That's why she got heat, because it's like she's married to a former wrestler, related to a former wrestler, and they throw her into storyline for no reason. That's bound to get heat. That's why Vicky Guerrero got such great heat. She's the next Vicky Guerrero, literally.
She's the Karen Jarrett. Even though Karen Jarrett's already in AEW, she's like the
Karen
second
Jarrett is a
character.
great heel too because she's annoying and she's a crybaby baby, and she had no tie to the wrestling business. Kept being married to a wrestler. They bring them in because they're married. It's like that's like the perfect heat magnet. Person who gets TV time that has no ties to wrestling. There's no better way to get heat.
Didn't her heat start when she had the affair with Jarrett after cheating on Angle? Or
Of course, if you have an affair with a wrestler you like, then yeah, that's how Lita got her heat.
yeah,
Because it's like that leaked, and then like she's supposed to be the babyface against Trish, and the fans are booing Lita out of the building and cheering for Trish. It was the same.
yeah.
That's what happens.
I mean, it gave her a good heel run.
Gave her a great heel run.
But yeah, back to World's End.
Yeah.
We all know who's about to turn in that faction.
Which faction?
And I think we're going to see Jack Perry once that happens.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they're going to bring
back.
They're going to bring back Jungle Express.
I'm okay with it. As long as they play the Baltimore theme, the Tarzan Boy theme, I'm good. That stuff's great. I love that song.
I don't know. I kind of enjoyed Jack Perry as a heel, so I don't know. I'm a little disappointed.
People hate on Jack Perry because the only credential he has to his name is he's Luke Perry's son.
That's Jim Ross's fault because he was doing fine as Jungle Boy, and Jim Ross kept calling him Jack Perry. So that's JR's fault because
we're gonna blame Jim Ross for everything, aren't we?
The one thing he wanted, and even when his father was alive, he went on record in saying it, was to not be associated with his father's fame. He wanted his wrestling career to be separate.
Right.
So I blame Jim Ross for calling him Jack Perry early on when he should have just kept calling him Jungle Boy.
Yeah, well, apparently Jim Ross fucks up a lot of things at this point in his career because he's gotten old and he's getting senile and he can't keep up anymore.
I mean, the best thing to happen was Jim Ross barely being on TV, so that's good.
Yeah. Rod, you're being very quiet over there.
He's watching this horrible Jet game.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what it is? Rod's lost Rod because of this Jet game?
Rod's too good to do the show. He wants to watch his stupid football team win.
They're winning, but it's a horrible game. This game is it's horrible.
Also, Rod, was watching Level Up before that. Because who else watches Level Up besides Rod?
Half the stuff that Rod watches, I don't understand.
Let's show Dom something. Chuck, let's talk about Impact. Watch Chuck Foley. Watch Chuck Foley.
Playing the game. All right, hang on. All right, you guys carry on.
It's time God.
You know what? Why don't we just talk about football? Okay, good night.
Don't mind these two degenerates.
I'm going to stay like this if it's football. If you guys start with Impact, the head will hit the pillow, and I'll be having some.
I don't need to talk about Impact right now.
5 minutes.
All Impact's been doing is best of, so
boring.
Is there even a best of Impact?
Both of you were at World's End. So what was the experience like? You were there.
Oh, we were there. Okay, yes. So, okay, you got my attention now because,
Chuck, I wasn't asking you.
Ask Dom. Let's ask Dom. Dom's our guest. Let's ask Dom.
I thought the experience was awesome, hands down. It was my first live event in years. I want to say one of the funniest moments was Jericho coming out because I actually have it on video. The guy in front of me or right next to us, I don't remember.
He was in front.
When Jericho first came out, they were booing him, and then we all started singing along to Judas, and the guy next to me was like, "Of course." You're going to boo the guy when he comes out, but you're going to fucking sing along to his theme song?
This is what everyone was saying. That pissed me off, too. The whole thing with Jericho, I'm glad he's back on Rampage because no one knows what the fuck they're talking about. You're automatically assuming he's guilty of something based on some mentally incapable idiot who can't hold a job.
Well, it's also based on past experiences. A lot of times when a wrestler gets accused of something, I would say about what 85% of the time it's true. They did something. So there is a history there.
But it's all hearsay until it gets proven true.
Exactly.
It's all hearsay until it's proven true, though. It's like all because Kylie Ray all of a sudden is now crying 4 years later. All of a sudden, this allegation. It's like the time when Hulk Hogan got fired from WWE for asinine comments that he made when he wasn't even with the company. It's like the same stupid nonsense. I mean, I get that was true, but like, why do people wait like years to like come about this? Like,
Ric Flair also got what do you call it? They also tried to blackball Ric Flair from WWE
there's a dark
because
side of it. But again, that was true. But then Tommy Dreamer's a dumbass and defended it and got himself blackballed.
But here's the thing.
I'm gonna rewatch that today.
Well, this happened years ago, and now everyone's being sensitive about it. It happened years ago, and why weren't we sensitive about it back then?
Because this is all the epitome of cancel culture. It doesn't matter what happened. The fact that oh my god, we can't support that anymore. It's like these young entitled young Gen Z entitled brats. It's like they have like a fucking bingo card. I'm like, oh nope, canceled.
Gen Z's ruining the fucking world. Thank you. Gen Z's ruining the fucking world.
It's like they all have like bingo cards. Like oh Jericho allegation. Bingo! Got bingo! I win! Bingo! Who the hell they are?
I'm gonna just say this and say my only political thing. Yesterday was January 6th. Why isn't that asshole canceled? What?
That's because entitled people don't touch that.
But yet you want to cancel Chris Jericho for something that
happened 4 years ago.
Well, not only did it happen 4 years ago, but did it really happen?
Right, we don't know. I mean, some of that does get proven true, but like again, if it's proven true, but like you're then people try. Oh, well, here's proof that it happened. Like what proof?
You know, someone's saying, "Oh, Jericho was in an open relationship." I don't think so.
I don't buy it.
He has been very, dedicated to his fucking family. So
he has. Also, I just want to point out, Dom, as our guest, you're in for a treat. You got the Rod Ceiling Fan Show.
Oh God. Yeah. This guy, we're doing this where people can actually view it, not just listen to it. And this guy just has a fucking blurry ceiling fan on the entire time.
Sure, it's better than freaking being my tiny whities like other people on this show whose name I won't mention.
Well, excuse me for doing laundry and not having shorts. What can I tell you?
So you have pants in, so you decide just to walk around your tiny whities because that's going to get us viewers.
I'm in my fucking tiny whities
underwear, bro. Inappropriate.
But I'm not showing them. I'm not.
He can back me up too. He did do an episode like that.
He did.
Who wants to fucking look at a goddamn ceiling fan the entire fucking time?
Most people rather look at my ceiling than you and your tiny whities, but that's another story.
Again, my tiny whities were on for 2 seconds. Your fucking ceiling fan is on for most of the fucking
2 seconds
recording.
too long, but okay.
Right now, you're fucking blurry. No one wants to see that shit.
Actually, what's cool is when he's on camera, he comes in clear, but everything else comes in distorted. So it actually is a cool image. So it actually looks pretty cool.
Fucking the
everything else is
clear, but everything else is a blur.
Right. That's a kind of a cool view. I actually kind of dig that.
For the entire fucking show?
I think it look cool.
Yeah, but other people who actually watch this are probably the reason why they're like, click.
That's because Rod doesn't speak enough. No, it's because Rod doesn't speak enough, guys. We need to get more kayfabe comments from Rod. That's what the show is lacking.
Rod, John Cena is overrated.
Hey, down, hater.
Hey,
John Cena has anytime you see John Cena in the movies or on TV, that's not John Cena. John Cena's been in like every single movie because you can't see him.
You know what I've been playing? I've been playing a lot of 2K23. You know why? I love that game. The whole story mode is beat up John Cena.
Oh, yeah.
Down hater.
It is. He loses every match in the story. And then I've been trying to unlock everything because it takes a million years because they made everything ever in wrestling history unlockable. So I just play Extreme Rule matches with any wrestler I like, and then I just beat the piss out of John Cena with every weapon imaginable so I can unlock
That's
it.
degenerate, I swear.
Solo Sikoa beat the shit out of John Cena's balding head was satisfactory.
John Cena's bald. John Cena's bald.
Oh my god, such a
John
hater.
Cena's bald. John Cena's bald.
Rod, Brock Lesnar is more deserving of his career than John Cena is.
Yeah, that's definitely a lie, but okay.
Tama Tonga's
That
the
is
best
100%
champion there is.
no, that'd be Hiroshi Tanahashi, thank you.
Also, remember that Tama Tonga is leaving soon and is probably going to WWE, which is Rod's favorite.
Good. Because we can get more of the bloodline thing going with Tama Tonga.
Yeah, because
Didn't he make a
Tonga's
comment about his family? That he had like family business to take care of or something like that? Like he kind of hinted that he's coming to WWE.
Because he wants to be closer to his family. He wants to spend more time with his family.
He wants to spend more time with his family, not overseas, because he lives in the States.
Yeah.
That's all it was. I think he's going to go to, like, I could see him still going to WWE, because he's mentioned, like, in the past, he'd rather work with WWE than AEW.
Yeah, well, he wants to work with Roman before Roman retires.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Who better to do it because their families are linked?
Right.
Yeah.
And I keep forgetting that Haku technically teamed up with both of the Fatu twins.
He did.
Because I forgot he did that. He had that run with Rikishi in 2001. I forgot because he teamed with Tama all those years before it.
He teamed with Rikishi in WWE for a short period of time.
Yep.
I completely forgot about that.
Right, because I wasn't watching wrestling back then.
And not only that, Haku was in one of the video games when they had bad guy Rikishi.
Yeah, they did. Again, not when I was watching wrestling, because I was mad because everything was all about the game. And the first hour of Raw was Triple H in the middle of the ring. And he was talking about absolutely nothing, or how insert wrestler name here screwed me over. And it went on for an entire half.
I want to say though, he's done a good job. He's done a good job with the talent lately.
No, he has done great. No, I like.
Let's talk about what he did. This takes away from our conversation about World's End, but since we're talking about it,
we'll find a way to get back to it. Don't worry.
You predicted AOP with Karrion Kross.
I didn't predict it. It was a big rumor mill, and if you looked at them, they looked like AOP. That's why I figured out it's probably AOP.
Where is rumor mill from? Because we have already learned that wrestling journalism, especially Nick Hausman's, full of shit.
I forget what side it was on, but I saw a thing, and then I looked at them like that looks like the Authors of Pain. It looks like them when they did the shadows of them. They looked like them.
I'm surprised they brought Paul Ellering back to do it, even though.
I'm glad they brought him back. He's good for that.
I definitely like the concept of the team. I don't like that there's two managers. I don't know how that's gonna work, but I'm definitely hyped about the faction.
I think it's really more that she's a valet and he's the manager, but we'll see.
Why isn't Charlotte wrestling? Because she can wrestle.
Charlotte, she got injured again.
Scarlett.
Oh, I think it's Charlotte. I don't know.
Scarlett can wrestle. She wrestled, in indies. She wrestled in Go to Sleep, Chuck, Impact with that
and MLW.
With that awful Fala Baba bullshit. And she should be wrestling in WWE.
Taking power naps here. You guys making me doze off all this chat of Impact.
You know what I can see happening? I can see them putting B-Fab with the Lashley faction.
I thought they already did.
No, she's not officially with them.
Oh, now that Top Doll is over and that Hit Row is done again.
By the way, they just made them, these guys that they just turned heel, they basically just turned face again.
Who, Street Profits and Lashley?
Yep.
Yeah, they just turned them heel, and now they're faced again.
It wasn't the heel
When
turn
they were
wasn't
heel, the
working.
freaking
They were
fans were
all three of
cheering
them were way
Lashley.
too over.
Rod's a mark for Lashley and the Street Profits, so no matter what they are, Rod will love them and say they're not heels.
Because they're awesome. Unlike that cancer you like to support.
Oh, this amazing shirt. Such a great investment.
Fuck
CM
cancer.
Punk, CM Punk is
I
he's the
support
best.
cancer shirt.
If you say that, then Dom, I have to say fuck you.
Bunch of haters.
I've always been a CM Punk guy, like
I
for a
was a
long
CM
time.
Punk guy until he pulled the recent shit he pulled in AEW.
Now
I think he did that to get out of that, honestly. And it doesn't okay anything. I'm not saying it's okay what he did, but I think he did that to get out of there.
I don't think he was happy there.
I don't think anyone was happy with him there either.
Here's what I love. Here's my favorite thing about fans, though. And I'm not saying I'm one of them because I've been a supporter no matter what. But all these haters of him in AEW, he goes back to WWE and they all give him this Warriors welcome, like, oh, he's so good to have him back.
I'm not.
How fickle fans are.
The guy missed the behavior clause in his contract, but okay.
Rod, you're so harboring on the behavior clause.
And how do you know that it exists?
Trust me, I can find a link for you, and I'll send you the link. He's got a behavior clause in his contract.
That's Rod is wrestling journalism again.
It's because Rod, you're getting all the insider info because you're working for WWE secretly.
Yeah, that's the only way you could get real insider info is if you work for the company, because all of these like
hang on.
and all that bullshit.
There's the fan again.
He's giving us the ceiling again. We're getting the ceiling, guys. He's mad at us.
Bullshit. These wrestling journalists are bullshit. Unless there's actual proof, these journalists are bullshit.
Oh, I love current wrestling on Gibson. Everything is such goddamn clickbait. Everything you read. Oh, top wrestler this, top wrestler that. It's all just clickbait.
It is clickbait. It's bullshit.
Terrible.
And that's the problem. That's why Jericho got booed, because people are believing these like fucking make-believe stories.
Yep. And it was so funny though at World's End where they were like booing them and then they were singing the song, but they would cut off earlier than the part and they would start booing them instead to be cool.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we want to boo Jericho. He's a scumbag, but we love this song. Yeah, but boo because he's a man. Boo. That's a good one.
And where's your proof he's a scumbag? You just believe some stupid dirt sheet asshole.
Clickbait.
Seriously.
Clickbait.
Stop believing everything.
Swerve is so over. It's a man. I love Swerve. So I love him.
He's like one of the most over guys of the night.
Go back to what Dom was saying earlier. If Joe is going to lose to anyone, it needs to be Swerve.
I agree. And if Swerve
can fulfill his goal to being the first African American AEW heavyweight champion.
Right.
I'm all for that. I just don't see how they're gonna tie that in with the Kingdom storyline, because he already went at Joe also. So you kind of figure Wardlow's gonna take the title off of Joe.
Probably.
Especially since they had their feud, about a year ago over the TNT Championship?
Yep.
Yeah.
It was, the TNT, and Right. He became a double champion. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So they'll probably have Wardlow take it off of Joe at some point.
I could
definitely see Swerve being the first African American champion in AEW.
Right. Wardlow's reign was kind of shitty because first he lost it to Joe, then he lost it to fucking Hobbs.
No, wait, didn't he lose it to Scorpio first? Scorpio Sky?
No, Scorpio Sky lost it to him. He beat Scorpio Sky for it.
But then they go back
and then he lost it to Joe. Then he lost it to then he lost it to Hobbs. And then he lost it to Killswitch.
Okay.
Right. Well, or Luchasaurus, because he wasn't called Killswitch yet.
Fucking Luchasaurus.
I
And I have
mean,
to say, I
whatever.
love Christian's AEW run right now.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It is.
And the match
It's
was great. And the fact that he literally convinced Kill Switch to cash in and give the belt back to him was great.
Yeah.
But that's just like the genius of Christian being a veteran to come up with this shit.
Yeah, well, that's it.
I mean, I'm sure like all of them were the architects of this storyline.
Oh yeah.
But what I mean, putting Christian Cage in this position as this megalomaniacal, self-absorbed asshole, it's working.
Right. Also, who was super over at World's End? Hook. Super over.
Super,
Yeah.
oh,
I think that was more of his hometown, but no,
Well,
he
it
was
his
over.
hometown. But it was amazing
he's
how
always
much
been
heat.
over
It
though.
was amazing, despite Blackpool Combat Club, how much heat Wheeler Yuta gets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It comes to
and they even made a comment about that last night in commentary, how Yuta's kind of separate from the other members of
Because
Blackpool.
they're all working babyface and he's working heel, and like Moxley, Claudio, and Danielson are getting pops. Yuta's getting tons of heat.
I actually have a question for you based on Claudio's match. Who the hell is Andrew Everett? Because according to Kevin Kelly, we should know who he is based on the way Kelly was talking about him. Kelly's like, oh, he was this high flyer. Now
he's an Omega guy. He used to compete for that Omega company that freaking the Hardys used to run. Him, Cameron Grimes. He was an Omega guy.
Oh, he was an Impact too, apparently.
Yeah, him and DJZ are former Impact Tag Team champions.
Of
Only
course,
Rod
Rod
would
would
know
know
that, because Rod is the only person I know that.
Yeah, you old ass bastard.
If it wasn't for Rod, Impact would have folded a long time ago.
Right.
If it wasn't for Rod, Main Event and Level Up wouldn't be TV shows either. You gotta understand.
I'm trying to figure out, like, Purrazzo's now in AEW, but I still worry that her run might turn into Valkyrie's run.
We'll see.
Like, hopefully they're going to have something for her. Maybe she'll be.
Well, she's already getting ready to feud with Tony Storm, so that's a good start.
If they get Sasha Banks also, that women's division is going to be legit. I mean, it's getting there. It was a work in progress.
It's still the worst part of AEW, though, is their women's division.
Yeah, but they're getting better.
It's getting better, but WWE still runs miles around them women's division.
Of course.
Let's not forget Serena Deeb coming back. Where's she going to fit all this?
I saw that.
You freaking had a bunch of seizures that almost ended her damn career.
Well, she's back.
I think WWE does a better part with storytelling for the women than AEW does.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, but AEW's women put on better matches, though.
I don't know about that.
Well, if you watch Ring of Honor, yeah.
Well, but we're talking about AEW strictly.
But Ring of Honor is AEW of Honor, if you think about it.
Yeah, but who watches Ring of Honor? Do they even have a show right now?
They have the Honor Club one.
Yeah, I mean,
it is on Honor Club on Thursday.
All right, Don, can we not try to sound like Disco Inferno over there, please?
No one gives a fuck about Glenn Gilberti.
Hey, listen. Again, gentlemen, I'm still waiting for Bill Dig, the evil architect gimmick, okay? I'm still waiting.
No wonder WCW was so bad in 2000. You had that idiot on the booking team.
And apparently he was sucking Vince Russo's dick on the sidelines.
Well, they're letting an idiot in WWE still have TV time when, you know what, you had the title, No one wants to see Bianca Belair with the title anymore.
Oh my God! Stop hating! Jesus Christ, you're such a hater.
No,
Rod,
just tell me like it is.
I'm over her being a champion. She's great in the ring, but she does not need the title. I'm sorry.
I'm tired of seeing her. I'm sick of her. I'm
I like
glad
that, but just
that
This dude complain about Bianca, but if Charlotte wins the title, you won't hear a peep out of him.
No, she's another one. I can't
We
stand
already
Charlotte
know
either.
who's
Great in the ring.
We already know who's going to win the Women's Rumble.
I'm bored
It's
of
gonna
her
be
too.
Bailey.
What'd you say?
It's gonna be Bailey.
Damn
I
right
hope
it
so.
is.
I hope
I'll
so.
be happy because his girl will finally be a babyface again.
My other question is, when is this turn going to happen? Because it seems like they already kind of
Rumble. It'll be like the Randy Orton turn. He won the title from Triple H. He's like, oh, it's bullshit. It'll be the same thing. You don't think WWE's still recycling old ideas? Come on. Even though Triple H
You
is
think it's going to be Bailey versus Sky?
Yeah, at WrestleMania.
probably that would make sense.
But I've been waiting for them to turn on her because they already kind of said it, said there is a member who doesn't belong here. And now it seems like they're brushing that under the rug.
That's why she's going to be the babyface that wins the Rumble, and then she's going to be super babyface and win, and the fans are going to love her again. And Rod will be happy, and Rod will be like, oh, man, my girl Bailey's back to loving the fans.
No, but as long as it's Bailey being Bailey now, because we don't need huggable Bailey ever again.
Don't tell Rod that.
I'm telling Rod that. He's right here.
No, he's not.
The world.
Nope.
The
It
world
has to be
doesn't
the Bailey
need
of now. It can't be. It can't be the previous Bailey.
No, it can't be. It would get
This Bailey is over as it is anyway. This version of Bailey, the obnoxious version of Bailey, is the one that the fans love.
I know,
Yeah.
it's great. That's why she got over, because she was obnoxious and over the top. So
Yeah, we're not talking about the Bailey that inspired a fan to become a wrestler whose father likes to ruin matches.
right.
Isn't that what happened?
Yeah.
And
So-
now she's wrestling, and
I don't get into all that. But what I will say is, what was I going to say to you guys? Apparently Rod's internet went out, so we're going to carry on for a few while he reboots himself.
oh, that explains why we haven't been able to.
But that sucks.
Well-
Where's the fan now?
I gotta go soon anyway. There's stuff I gotta do today, but
Try and get him on. Yeah, no, I get you. What else have we not hit today? We did pretty good. We touched on.
Have you guys read
MJF
about this Matt
super
Hardy
ugly.
thing?
and by the way, I made the comment because it is true. What's her face? The Ultimate Bailey fan is
The Ultimate Family. What?
what's her face? You know who I'm talking about, the Bailey fan. Who now wrestles? The Bailey fan.
I have no clue.
You know the little girl who used to dress up as Bailey?
Oh, yeah,
And when
I
Bailey-
heard about that. Yes, I forget her name, but yes, I've heard about that. Yes.
And her father interfered with a wrestling match or something, or an NXT or something.
Oh, right. Yes, I do recall. I forgot the wrestler's name, but yes, the Bailey fan, the little girl. Yep, who's an adult now. Don't we feel
What?
old, gentlemen?
What's his name? Rod knows who I'm talking about. Rod knows who I'm talking about.
Rod is the
Of
biggest.
course,
Bailey-
Rod would know.
But yeah, I want to see Bailey. I wouldn't mind seeing Bailey against Io Sky, so we can actually have this feud, because I think this team is with Io, Asuka, and what's her Sane. It's great with fucking Kota Kai as well.
Yeah.
I think this is a better faction than what Damage Control already is or was.
Right.
I can see that once Dakota Kai gets healthy, I can see them turning on her also.
I can see that too.
I don't know. I feel like Dakota Kai is like part of this new incarnation. Like it's 3 Japanese women and and Dakota Kai. I think it's great.
I think it's good. She's a good mouthpiece for them. I think that's why they keep her. She's a good mouthpiece for them. They're probably waiting for Dakota Kai to be healthy to do the turn. They're probably just planting the seeds now.
Yeah.
Unless there's a reason for it and we don't know yet.
Yeah. I mean, I just feel like they've
unless
been
she's
playing.
unless she's not really injured now at this point, and they're letting us believe she's injured, so that way it'll be like, oh, I'm not hurt anymore, and ha ha ha, screw you, Bailey.
Speaking of injuries, it sucks that Adam Cole is legitimately still injured.
Yeah. That was fun to watch though on the thing, and you literally saw it wasn't like a fix or anything. It was like, yeah, I'm sure it would have been different had he not gotten injured. I'm sure the overall story would have been the same.
Yard, Pat! Get out of my yard! Damn cat sneaking into my backyard. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
How long is he going to be out for?
Who, Cole?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know the exact timetable. I just know that I'm sure that the plan was the same. But I'm sure what's it called? That they adjusted it within the plan. It probably would have been a little different had he not been injured.
We know one thing for sure. Strong never lost his best friend.
Adam.
I think that gimmick is over though, and I love that.
That's so funny.
It's over, yeah.
I didn't know that Roderick Strong had personality until this gimmick.
Yeah.
I like him as a wrestler. I've always liked him, but I never really had personality, so I'm happy. Roddy.
I love this version of Roderick Strong.
Me too.
And it's also elevating Taven and
At it again.
And Bennett, yeah.
I was always a fan of Bennett. WWE dropped the ball with him. 1,000%.
Oh yeah.
It's because Bennett didn't have the right support.
No.
And him being with his friend.
Also, it didn't help that he was having addiction issues at the time too when he was in WWE.
Oh yeah, that was a big part of it too.
He had a lot of addiction problems. Yeah, so it was poor timing. It was just poor everything because But what are you gonna do?
But them putting the titles on Taven and Bennett's the right move.
Yeah.
Hopefully it revamps the tag division too.
It needs to.
Who better than 2 Ring of Honor vets being Ring of Honor champions?
Well, that's the point of it.
That is the point.
So it puts Ring of Honor over. I mean, AEW of Honor. That's what it is to me, though. Like, I'm watching it.
That's why it's got to be separate. That's why you have to decide where are these guys going to go. I mean, you have a TV title on an AEW wrestler who's in an AEW faction.
Right. So it's funny because sometimes, like, if you watch Ring of Honor, sometimes it's pretty good because, like, they'll have, like, New Japan guys on it, some of the strong guys. Or other times they'll have, like, other people when they're in between tours, they'll come over and do Ring of Honor. But then, like, that's good. But then, like, other times it's like, oh, we're just going to hear the stories we've been hearing about on Dynamite and Collision for the rest of our lives.
One thing Ring of Honor has done is they kept Athena and Billy Starks separate.
Yes.
And hopefully that's what they're doing with Castle and I'm not calling him TV and Johnny Hannigan.
I don't think John Hannigan's going back to AEW side things for a while. I think he's going to work Ring of Honor for a while.
So I think Valkyrie's doing the same thing.
Same thing with Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky, I think.
Ethan Page chose to work Ring of Honor, though.
I know, it's good. I'm glad for him. He's actually doing really good over there.
I like Ethan Page a lot.
Very underrated for what he is.
Yeah.
Don't tell Rod that, because Rod's like a Josh Alexander mark and will always say that.
But here's the thing. That's what they need to be doing. They need to stop switching people back and forth and leave Ring of Honor as Ring of Honor and get it over that way.
Right, do it organically.
Ring of Honor needs its own talent. So yes, it was cool to see Griff Garrison there last night, but keep him on Ring of Honor to work a storyline there. Moriarty is now
that you've turned him heel and stuff.
He's kind of been that way once they kind of teamed him with Canales and what's his face?
Heel. Right.
The other guy.
But I like it though. My point is I like him as a heel. No, I like him as a heel. That was my point with that.
They should have been heels all along, him and Pillman. They should have been heels a while back.
But no, they did that awkward
Varsity Blues gimmick.
Like the Varsity Club.
Yeah, Varsity Blondes, yeah. They should have turned the blondes a long time ago and maybe I don't know. But then again, I mean, he's shining on NXT, so good for him.
Yeah, he's doing great on there. I love it. It's great.
My question is, do you have to do the same thing with Lee Johnson?
Right.
There are guys like you said yourself, Sean Spears left. I'm surprised he left, but
I'm not. They weren't using him.
I mean, what's good if he goes back and is Ty Dillinger though? Is that going to benefit him?
Maybe financially.
Yeah, financially he'll be better off. He'll probably be a fixture in NXT. I don't see him being up on the main roster.
Then financially,
because he was big,
financially he could have stayed there then.
But also, he was big in Triple H's NXT, so he could do all right on Triple H's main roster if he's got like that Triple H support.
He wasn't that big. He had more. They eventually made him more than just a guy who loses matches, but you know, in the Perfect 10, finally they did something with him, but it took a while.
He did have a crowd. He did have a crowd following for sure.
Yeah.
My question is, would Deonna Purrazzo be used in WWE now that she's proven herself?
Under Triple H, I would say yeah, she would be.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't she technically under Triple H when this happened? When they when they didn't know what to do with her?
No, she was on the main roster with Chelsea Green under Vince McMahon.
Even before that though, in NXT they didn't know what this virtuosa thing was. But my question is, who was it that Canyon Seaman guy that was the problem? Was it that what's his face? Hugh Morris or whatever the fuck his real name is. That was the problem. Yeah.
No, that was post Bill DeMott.
That was still Bill DeMott, wasn't it?
No.
Purrazzo was there during DeMott.
Was he? No, I thought Matt Bloom had already taken over by then.
Yeah, I think he did.
I think Matt Bloom had already taken over as head of.
I just don't understand, with Triple H there, how she would have been, how they wouldn't understand what she was trying to do, and yet Impact, as much as you hate it, is the reason that Deonna Purrazzo is where she's at right now.
It's true. Not only listen again. I hate the way Impact writes. I don't hate the talent in Impact. I hate the way they write Impact. That's why
but because of whatever.
No, but I do think that helped Deonna Purrazzo big time. Yes, I agree.
Yes, it wasn't just her wrestling. I mean, it was the writing too, obviously, because they kept her.
Everything in Impact is bad. I'm just saying the overall product. I just can't get into. So
and I'm wondering how
to wait around for the one segment. It's like for every one segment I want to see on Impact, there's like 4 or 5 really garbage ones. It's like I have to sit through these bad segments to watch the one I want to see. Like I can't do that.
You're not wrong. I have trouble watching Impact too, but I feel like
that's my issue. And it's just I'm just over dramatic about it. Not like what do I write about it.
Yeah, exactly. I just feel like we miss out on some good talent because of how bad the writing is.
Again, I can't. There's also for me as a fan at this point in my life, there's so much wrestling that I can't keep up with all of it. So I got to draw the line somewhere.
My question is though, is Sami Callihan in the right company? Like because
Well, where
We
is
don't
he?
watch.
He
We
went
don't
to
watch
MLW. He returned to
MLW. We haven't been watching MLW, and when I did start watching it again, I was like, "What the? This storyline's stupid."
I haven't
Like
watched in a while. Like the little bit I've watched, I'm like, okay, I get it, but I'm like, I'm not into it.
the
Like,
storyline, stupid. What they're doing with like now they put the two what the fuck's his name? The guy who was in the feud with the other guy?
The guy with the other guy, right?
The fucking
I
muscle
love
guy.
that. The guy with the other guy. It's a
The
great
muscle guy. The former champion, the muscle guy.
Oh, Hammerstone.
Moose?
Hammerstone and Richard Holiday were on the same team, and then he basically just left. Hammerstone left, but they were basically on the same team for a very brief moment.
Oh, they
What? That's very WCW.
on the way up. But it's funny too because then they did an appearance in GCW around the same time, and Richard Holiday double crossed them again in GCW.
But GCW, is supposed to be separate, but is it?
No, but I've noticed even with all these indies that like these characters keep their characters relevant depending on where they're working.
Well, yes and no. On indies, I've been to indies where this guy in New Jersey was a heel, but then I went to Long Island and he was a big baby face.
I mean, that happens a little bit. Like certain bigger names when they go on indies are baby faces by default because they're big names.
He wasn't even a big dude. Like, I don't even know what he's doing now. I think his name is Dickie Rods.
I don't know.
I don't know like what he's doing now. I don't know where he is, but
Actually, I gotta be honest, sometimes going to the small indie shows are a lot of fun. They can be a lot of fun. They're either great or they're terrible.
you know who else was kind of doing well, and I think he's gone now too. I don't know where the hell he is. VSK.
Yeah, he was doing good for a while. I don't know where he was.
They had him on AEW, but now it's like I don't know where the hell he is now. He could be on GCW for all I know.
I haven't seen him on there. Maybe.
I know he does shit with Cardona here and there.
Yeah.
Aren't GCW getting their own network deal soon?
I hope so. Good for them. That's the whole thing. TV networks are still good for wrestling.
Yeah. The problem is are they willing to pay these companies the money for them? And that's the issue, though. It's not on our influence. I'm saying, again, the only reason there's not a third tertiary major promotion is because none of them have the funding. We said it earlier. They lack funding.
And TNA was kind of number 2 unofficially for a while. Like until like their TV deals until they basically couldn't compete with WWE. They tried, and they stupidly tried to compete with Raw, which was dumb.
That was the worst thing and the dumbest thing they could have done. I wish Rob was here to counter that because Rob would go on a whole rant about that.
There was a lot of stupid things they did. The way they didn't use the Bucks correctly. There were a lot of things, and it was
get it correct. They were Generation Me.
Whatever. It was Bruce Pritchard's fault. And fucking Russo's fault.
They had a lot of good talent back then, too.
Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, yeah, they had a lot of great talent. That's the problem. You have great talent in there, but if it isn't for people like us, I feel like no one really knows what's going on.
Yeah.
It's not like, fans like us that try to follow everything. Thank God these wrestlers use Twitch because, you got Speedball Mike Bailey.
I am not a fan of Speedball.
I heard you had that one good match with what's his name? Will Ospreay.
That match was amazing.
His character work's not great, but his in-ring is terrific.
No, I like his in-ring, but as a character, I don't like him. That's my issue. I can respect a guy with like good in ring, but there needs to be some type of character, something for me to.
Well,
like,
here's the thing. If Mike Bailey acted the way he does when he's on Twitch, that would be great.
I don't watch him on Twitch, so I wouldn't know. But
Mike Bailey, like when Mike Bailey being Mike Bailey, he's a cool dude. Like when I hang out with him in his Twitch room, he's a fucking cool dude. Watches wrestling, talks up wrestling, we talked about what I had for lunch in the room. We were all talking about like Quiznos, shit like that. Like when he's just being himself, but when he's on camera and he's like being the serious like martial arts dude, it's like it just kind of
I lose it. Like, I mean, look,
It's
you
hard,
don't have to be that much of a character for me to like you. Look at Zack Sabre
but
Jr.
his in ring, you cannot say shit about his wrestling. His wrestling is phenomenal.
It just I don't like his personality. Like a guy like Zack Sabre Jr. He doesn't have much to him, but he's got enough personality that's like, all right, I can match
But
it.
that's the thing. Bailey has a personality. He's just just haven't seen it on TV.
That he's not using it. Even like a Dean Malenko back in the day, like he had enough personality to justify the way he was wrestling.
That's another person I don't see much of. His wife, I'd like to see more on like on TV, but I mean I'd like to see her somewhere.
Who?
Veda.
Oh yeah.
She was on Impact for a bit, and she was in other. Is she on WoW?
I don't know. I don't watch WoW. Where's Rod? Where's Rod? We need him. Let's see if I can get.
Where is Rod when we need him? Because see, this is my problem. I'm not seeing these companies are existing, but I mean, same thing. NWA, it's around. I mean, you have some great talent on there, but it doesn't resonate with me the same way as other companies. I don't know. I tried watching it, but
I can't get into it. Can't do it. I try. I can't get into it.
Wasn't Nick Aldis the best part of it recently? Up until recent?
Yeah, he was the best. Now he's in WWE, but now Brian Idol is making waves. I mean, they put him up against Latimer, which is good for a guy like him because Brian Idol's an indie guy who probably people really didn't know about, and now he's been making waves in Florida and with his FTW promotion that he turned into a school.
Yep, I remember that. I also remember Brian Idol being the Village Pub South Sound guy.
Yes. Oh, you mean the guy who cut my band off short? I give him shit about it all the time. So.
Oh, you mean the one that Kaplan gave a bitchy complaint to about the sound check because all he did was a kick and a snare and that was it?
And you know what his response was? Because I gave him shit about that the other day. He's like, yeah, man, aren't you the dude who walked out? And he's like, yeah, well, because I'm so good, I don't need to stay. He said something like that.
Hey, at least he's working in character.
Brian's a good dude, and I'm glad that he got NWA as a platform. I'm just hoping it, I mean, dude, the guy he was in Times Square. His billboard was in Times Square.
Good for him.
So, I mean, big things are going for him. I want to see it happen. Whether he becomes the next NWA champion or finally gets to go to a company he's been wanting to work at outside NWA,
Right.
I mean, he was basically on WWE Network for that Evolve special.
He was. Yeah, but you got to remember who the bigger celebrity is that we know that was on our show that was on a WWE DVD.
Oh, Vinny the Guido.
My boy Vinny the Guido. That was a great episode.
Didn't he get like arrested recently?
Yeah.
Wow. Was he? For what?
Well, I'll have a conversation with you guys later.
Okay.
It's a conversation for later.
Brian Idol, and then I want him to be as big as they were making. What's his face? What the fuck? What's the name of the guy who was on? Starts with a T.
Trevor Murdoch.
No, the other one who was on Fox News.
Oh,
Was
Brodus Clay, Tyrus.
Well, it's not called Tyrus. Thank you. And a lot of people had a problem with Tyrus with the belt, but I want Brian Idol to be as big as they made Nick Aldis. You know what I mean?
He needs to be a champion for a long time.
Point is, this is a dude we know from Long Island that I'd like to actually, who's been wrestling for years, and now that he's on a bigger platform, I hope NWA does well on CW.
Right. Me too. So I have the CW app, so I can actually watch it on there, and I'll be like, hey, good. Maybe I'll be the tertiary company over Impact. Impact. That shit sucks.
Because I feel like everyone knows about like WWE and AEW because it's on national TV, but I feel like, you'll get more exposure than just the casual wrestling fan.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, if you're a super wrestling fan, you are going to know about NWA because of the lineage and everything that happened with, Dusty Rhodes, Ric Flair, Harley Race.
Right.
And then that's why you know the name NWA, but them being on CW is definitely going to get new fans.
Absolutely. And what's cool too is random. Speaking of Billy Corgan, you heard the news about the Smashing Pumpkins?
What?
They're holding open auditions for guitar players.
Are they really?
Yep. I'm gonna put my name in the hat. I'm gonna try out for the Smashing Pumpkins band.
So did Eha leave or the other guy?
I think the other guy. But yeah, no, they're apparently trying guitar players out.
That's really funny.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go try out for the Smashing Pumpkins if I'm lucky.
Go for it.
Why?
I gotta actually make up like a DX musician resume for that though.
Is there a problem with Darcy that she never came back?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Because I want to see that band. I want to see Eha. I want to see Chamberlain, Corgan, and Darcy. But is there a reason that? I mean, is there something wrong that she couldn't come back?
I have no idea.
If anything, bring Melissa Off DeMar back.
Right. Right.
And then there was, I don't remember her full name, Nicole something, who was the bassist for a while. She was also in Veruca Salt for a brief moment too.
I still can't fight the Seether. It's great. I love that song. Can't fight the Seether.
The original lineup reunited in 2013 or 15, and I don't know, they haven't been really doing anything for a long time. But anyway,
yeah, I think we're putting a pin in this. I don't know where Rod went. I'm trying to reach out to him. I think his internet is just down.
He's watching his Jet game.
Yeah, are they still winning?
They're winning 6-3. They missed the field goal though.
Where is your fandom? Are you pro everything or are you pro a certain company?
For me, I enjoy WWE and AEW equally for what they are.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit there and say like one company is worse than the other. AEW for a while was the alternative, I want to say. And I want to say recently the product has gone down somewhat. But they're still enjoyable. I still enjoy what they're doing. I like that, they brought Edge in. I like that they're bringing in more talent. I like that they're giving other wrestlers opportunities that WWE wasn't giving. So like what they did with FTR, what they did with Swerve, what they did with the Kingdom. I like all of that. That's all opportunities that they weren't getting elsewhere.
Well, I'll tell you this. I agree with you, and I've been like a big fan of AEW since it started, but I agree it's been going downhill, but I think World's End is where everything turned around. I feel like since the new year, since 2024, the last few episodes have been great.
They have been good episodes. I didn't watch Collision last night, so I didn't see it. I read
It's
about
alright.
it.
I'll be honest with you. I had on mute while we were doing this, and I was keeping tabs on it. It was pretty good. I read the results before we went on anyway. It was decent.
World's End. I mean, I feel like that kind of brought AEW back in a way. I just feel like AEW was going south with the whole tournament and everything. I was just like, all right, there's a lot of.
I don't care. I liked the tournament. I liked the G1 stuff though. That's me though.
But for storyline,
The tournament was good. I like what they did with Kingston. I felt maybe Swerve should have won the tournament, but I was okay with Kingston. It made sense to have Kingston, but I thought Jay White wanted to.
This was Kingston's tournament because since being in AEW, even though it was in other companies, since being in this company, he captured a New Japan title, and he captured a Ring of Honor title, which is associated with AEW. So it made sense for him to be this Triple Crown guy because this underrated wrestler has shown that he's like one of the top guys now.
Yeah.
Right. This guy who couldn't make it in WWE or who couldn't make it to WWE showed that he didn't need WWE.
Sure. Yeah. Which is pretty rare nowadays. I mean, there's only a handful of superstars that are like that.
There's very few.
But that's also because of the help of the fact that AEW works with other companies. That's the other reason. That's why Omega was over in his heel run, because of what he was allowed to do with Impact.
Yeah, and it was a good run over there. And then Christian got over there because he got to return there and do his thing there. Yeah.
And I mean, Mexico working with this AEW too, like with Vikingo and having their titles on network on in the United States being shown like that.
That's good, yeah. I agree.
See, that's where WWE differs. Yes, Triple H has done things that has changed WWE and made it better again, but
right.
I mean, maybe with everything going on with Endeavor, and there are things I still disagree with. Under Triple H's watch, Mackenzie Mitchell got fired.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
Why? What's her face could take her spot?
Right.
What the new girlfriend of one of the guys from Pretty Deadly is the back. I mean, yeah, she's fucking hot as hell. And yeah, and she's fucking hot as hell, yeah, but Mackenzie Mitchell was great at her job, and I don't, and she was even on Van Vliet's show, and there's still really no. Right. I don't know why she was fired. That makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
It doesn't make
no sense.
But see, that's the thing. Those are the things I'm talking about, where you have some, and they answered a question for me on SmackDown. What the fuck are they going to do with Ashanti the Adonis? And they're actually doing something with him now.
Yeah,
well, we don't know what they're doing, but
at least they're going to try something with him.
Point is, you wouldn't have seen that on Vince's run.
No, they would have shit-canned him.
I could see them making a tag team with him and Cedric.
That would make sense.
That would actually be smart.
I would be okay with that. Give him a run. Why not?
Once, honestly, Hit Row without Swerve ran its course.
Yeah.
Swerve is the reason that Hit Row was as good as it was.
Yeah, and then Swerve is having a great run in AEW, and he's doing
He
great.
is.
So it's like he's one guy. It's like I'm okay with not going back to WWE right now because I'm doing freaking great here and I'm getting a good run.
I want him to stay in AEW because I think I think this is a guy whose career is going to like rise completely because of that.
Probably.
And yes, Moxley was a WWE guy, but honestly, I feel like we got to see more of what he could do in AEW. And because of that, he became this great wrestler in New Japan.
Yeah. I'd rather watch for New Japan at this point.
I mean, I don't know, man. Like, if someone would just show him, like, this is what you look like in AEW, this is what you look like in New Japan. You should be this guy.
Yeah,
I mean, Moxley's just going to respond to, that's who I am, man. But I'm telling you, I don't know what it is, like, why he seems like more of an asshole in AEW than he does in New Japan.
Because he does the same thing every week in AEW. It's like, okay, we've seen it now. Who cares?
He didn't really, you're right. He didn't bite anyone's head off. He did he did some crazy shit, but he didn't.
Right.
But it was different.
Right.
Like the Death Rider of New Japan is who I like.
Right.
And that shit that he did with Ospreay in the ring, that was great.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Well, you could do it in AEW since they're both contracted, but
I still think they messed up with the way they timed that. Like they should have saved. I mean, unless they're really trying to have them in a program for the other event, like they should have saved it for after February 11th. They should have saved it for the announcement at Revolution or had them do the run in at Revolution rather than do all the extra appearances and then do it. I think that was stupid of them, but whatever.
Now we need to see Miro and his wife as a cohesive unit now that she's, that they basically turned her to send off Andrade. For Andrade's send-off, she had to turn.
Yep.
Yeah, but Miro got mad at that. So are they going to really be together, or is that still going to be an ongoing thing?
I think it's eventually they're eventually going to bring it together. It's a slow build. That's what they're doing, is a slow build.
Good. It's about time wrestling had some long-term storytelling.
Because I think that's AEW's strengths are in the storytelling. That's what I feel like. I feel like their weaknesses have been how to book certain talent and how they have other talent, and when they book, when they throw the other new shiny toys in the mix.
Yeah.
But the strengths, what fixes it is when they use them for long-term storytelling.
Right, I agree.
What's his face? And I don't know where the hell he is now, but I can't think of his name. The guy who Swerve teamed with in Lucha, who had matches with in Lucha Underground, who trained every single person and then turned on Darby Allin.
Oh, AR Fox.
They were doing good shit with him, but now I don't know what the fuck's going on with him.
I have no idea.
As much as I get it, guys didn't get their opportunity in WWE, and some of them are doing better in AEW. Guys like AR Fox and, now Orange Cassidy has become a bigger name. Those are the guys that AEW should be focusing on.
No, I agree. No, they should be focusing on their ingrown talent, not the XWB. That's always been my complaint about AEW.
But the thing is, I think Swerve is more of an AEW guy than just as his rise in AEW has been much better than his rise in WWE.
Yeah, he never had the chance in WWE.
He never had a chance, and also I don't see him as a WWE guy, because he was known before that. Like when I say WWE guys with AEW, I'm talking guys that got really solidified in WWE, like guys like Moxley or Dean Ambrose, or guys like Ed,
Didn't.
Christian, or whoever. Even though I love them, it's
There's one guy that you didn't mention that has a big run in WWE, but I think outside of WWE is who I feel he really is. The man who just had his second match with Okada.
Oh, Danielson, I agree.
I feel like Bryan Danielson I love what I'm seeing with Bryan Danielson now than what I saw with WWE. Yes, he was a WWE guy, but
I feel like he's different than other ex-WWE guys.
Yeah, wasn't he known before WWE?
He was
a major Ring of Honor player.
Yeah.
A lot of those Ring of Honor guys are guys, yeah. Except for a lot of guys. So I could see even a Seth Rollins, if he went to AEW, he would still get that received because he was a Ring of Honor guy first.
But I think you said it the other day. I think Seth Rollins has become more associated with WWE than anything, just with his meteoric rise in that company, that he wouldn't be perceived as Tyler Black when going into another.
Exactly. Well, that's my point.
But Bryan Danielson, even though, yes, he trained with Shawn Michaels and everyone knows him as Mr. Yes Guy, but I feel like he's shown that, I was a guy before WWE, and this is the shit that I can really do. I feel like they took the handcuffs off of him once he went to AEW.
Yeah, they did. I can agree with that.
They gave him more leeway.
Same thing with Swerve.
Well, yeah, a lot of guys get more leeway when they're. I feel like in WWE, it's a lot more of, this is your character, this is what I want you to do. Where AEW, it's like, this is your character, what do you want to? Okay, so you have this character, we like this. What do you want to do with this character?
And no matter how much Moxley's pissed me off with his character, he came through for AEW big time in so many ways.
Oh, yeah, he has. I agree.
He is definitely a company guy.
He is.
He's not a WWE guy to me. He's an AEW guy because of all the stuff he's done for that. So is FTR, to be honest.
I agree with that too.
Yeah, they were dead in the water in WWE.
Fuck the revival.
Fuck the revival.
Fuck the revival.
Fuck the revival.
You had your guys who started the company, but I feel like there are guys now that are, the Young Bucks did their thing, but then now there are other guys that are making their mark.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Top Flight. We're still seeing Top Flight.
Oh, they're great. I like them a lot, actually. And I like that they're teasing them being heels, too, which is fun.
Are they?
A little bit. I feel like they're teasing them as heels a little bit. Not like a ton, but a little bit. Because they've been wrestling a lot of baby faces lately. That's why I'm saying it.
As much as I love them, I feel like the Acclaimed have joined the ranks of John Cena and Bianca Belair.
I like the Acclaimed. They're fun. But
but
you know what it is? They need to do something new with them. They're doing the same thing.
I'm over them.
Because they've done the same thing with them over and over again. They need to freshen them up. I think that's what they need.
And them with the Bullet Club is death to the Bullet Club.
That's not fresh.
It's because the Bullet Club is the Bullet Club. The Acclaim's the Acclaim. You can't putting them together. It's not only will it make the Bullet Club baby face, but it'll kill what Jay White is.
Well, AEW needs baby faces right now. They don't have anybody. Swerve technically is still a heel. Adam Cole's a heel. MJF is out. Joe's a heel.
What do you call Adam?
Page is back, but what are they doing with him besides having a feud with Swerve, though?
Yeah. And Hangman's not going to get over because Swerve's over. So that's you're negating what you're trying to do with that.
I
So
agree.
they need a face right now, and Jay White would fill that role,
And the
even though
crazy
I'm
thing is
against it.
that before he left New Japan, like they were, you saw they were right in the walls for him to eventually be a babyface in Japan, but he signed with AEW instead.
You
Who,
know,
Jay
no,
White?
I think the big baby face is the man who was in the match with Finley and Moxley. I think that's who AEW needs.
But the way they're going, unless they continue with this other angle, I think they're going to keep Ospreay with Callis against Jericho.
I don't know, dude. I feel like
Eventually, with time, Ospreay is going to be a major babyface in AEW. I agree with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But not at first.
Oh.
I think they bring him in as a heel
and
first.
let's not forget Sammy Guevara's back on the good guy side.
Yeah, but he's not over. He was getting booed at World's End. Nobody
with
that
Jericho.
Because he was with Jericho, who
But
was
he's also getting
unfairly.
booed anyway because no one can stand him and Tay Mello together. They're the most annoying
Yeah.
bullshitting couple. I hate them together. They annoy me.
I can't stand them two together.
Together, yeah, that's an issue. But come on, when Sammy wrestles, though, dude, he deserves.
But again, he gets exceeded. But the problem is, he gets exceeded by being the nauseating power couple with Ty that no one wants to see.
Well, they got that. Well, when was the last time you saw him and Ty together? He's back on his own right now with Jericho.
She just had a baby.
I know.
I'm just saying.
You're turning into that Mark, though, that's like, oh, they're nauseating because they're together. Yeah, but guess what?
But I liked it too on TV. But I liked it on TV too because they were getting heat. But the problem is, like, people are still stuck on that. That's the point.
Well, it's time to get over it because Sammy needs to get back to where he was,
right?
Fighting for a title.
I agree.
I mean, Sammy Guevara versus Samoa Joe. Why the fuck not?
Yeah.
Why the fuck not?
I agree.
Even though Adam Cole is destined to have that title at some point soon.
Adam Cole is definitely going to have that title.
Yeah.
Adam Cole's another guy who's great everywhere he goes.
Because he's good. And Adam Cole, like, even though he had a great run in WWE, it's not like it exceeded anything else he did. It was on par with his Ring of Honor run and now his AEW run. They're all equally great runs. Babyface,
heel, Adam Cole is just an incredible talent. Doesn't matter
because he's believable in those roles. Because he's believable in those roles. Good.
Yeah, and he was like a guy that no one really thought about until, I mean, I'd say like later in Ring of Honor and then WWE. Adam Cole, well, you kept hearing his name, but then like I feel like when he
joined the Bullet Club, that's when he really was starting to get like noticed because that was when like Bullet Club was like white hot.
Yeah.
And that's where it's like he was known with the Kingdom and like he had a run with the title with the Kingdom. But I feel like he got his real traction when the Bullet Club was white hot and he was in the Bullet Club. And that's when, after that, that's when WWE was like, oh, we want this guy. And it just so happened that his deal and Red Dragon's deals all ended at the same time.
Yeah.
So you're able to do all that and make greatness. Like, it'd be great when Kyle O'Reilly comes back, if he ever gets to. He's in with the Undisputed Kingdom, too. It'd be great.
Which is probably what's going to end up happening.
Yeah, because
I'd like Fish to come back then too.
I would too. Apparently, Fish
but then that's like too many cooks in the kitchen.
Kinda, yeah. I feel like a lot of companies aren't as invested in Bobby Fish on a high level anymore because he's getting older. So like they don't want to like give him that same.
Didn't he go to like MMA or something like that, or he was training to be like an MMA fighter?
Well, he still is, and he's also big on DDP yoga. Like he's starting to be an instructor for that too now.
Okay.
Yeah, like he's big on that whole thing. But
well, at least there's life for him after wrestling, so that's good.
That is a plus. Yeah, no, it's good.
I mean, if Bobby Fish wanted to, and WWE wanted to, they could always bring him in as a coach.
I'd
or
be
producer.
too. He'd be great for that. He's the perfect guy for that. We'll see.
I honestly think, I mean, QT Marshall is wrestling in CCW right now. I feel that QT Marshall would be beneficial as you know, maybe he's a trainer there now too, for I don't know, but I'm saying behind the scenes, QT Marshall is very beneficial.
Yeah, no, he'd be a great coach anywhere he goes. It's just I think he wants to wrestle still. I think.
I'm sure he's gonna make his way to WWE because of Cody Rhodes also.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure he's going to do an indie run and then he'll go to WWE as a coach.
Yeah.
Just Cody be like, I get your job as coach. Can't get you his job as a wrestler, but I'll get you as coach.
He'd be better as a. I don't know if he'd be how he. I don't know if how he would work in WWE as a talent. You know, I mean,
Problem is he wouldn't.
the platform for AEW worked for him.
For AEW, it was still early, and they were able to use him as both.
It just the way they eased him into it.
Or if or it'd be cool to see him sign with New Japan and work for Strong.
I could see him also if he can't be a in ring as a manager, he would work out fine too.
Yeah, he has that personality too. I agree. It's true.
He's good on the mic. He's good on, you know, I mean, but my question is like, what is it he wants? Because
we don't know that.
Because he said AEW was going in a different direction, but in that case, I can't see him being happy in WWE.
I can't either. I can't either.
If he wants to wrestle, yeah, that's maybe go, I don't know, MLW, Impact. There are all these, but right now he's been wrestling for CCW, Coastal Championship Wrestling. That's a Florida promotion, Dom.
Okay.
It's they call themselves the Last Territory. They're an indie company in that wrestles all over Florida.
Okay.
And they've done some shows in they did some shows in Nashville, but I mean
the most part
they are a Florida-based company.
Still good though.
Miro's actually trained there. Paige, what's her name? That MMA fighter, Paige
Van Zant.
She trained with CCW to get ready for in-ring action in AEW.
Okay.
You know, Gangrel is the head coach at CCW.
Gangrel.
He's good, dude. I was in those classes for a little bit. He's good. They're like all those. There are a lot of guys in CC. Oh, you know who was a CCW alumni? Stax.
The one who's
from
De Lorenzo.
Yeah, the guy who's the tag team champions with D'Angelo.
Oh, okay.
He was a CCW guy. There are a lot of there's a lot of good talent in there. Kylan King too. She's wrestled for that company and she still does.
Good. I noticed that Ricardo Rodriguez is in MLW now. Random, sorry, ADD moment.
Who's Ricardo Rodriguez?
Alberto Rodriguez.
Oh, they call him Ricardo Rodriguez now?
He's Jesus Rodriguez.
Oh, Jesus. I thought he was El Patron.
No.
Are you talking about?
I'm talking about the ring announcer.
Oh, you're talking about the valet guy.
Yeah.
He is. Yes, he's in MLW. Correct. He is.
Alberto Del Rio, who I loved for about 6 months, and I got tired of him.
He fucked his career up big time.
Yeah, no, he's done.
Don't do stupid fucking things, and you won't ruin your career.
He's done.
Listen, don't do stupid fucking things, and you won't ruin your fucking career.
Didn't Sexy Star do the same?
Jake Whitaker suicide too. Marty
Is
Scurll.
she still being used in Mexico though?
I have no idea. Marty Scurll half committed career suicide. You know,
Yeah,
he
he's
went to
another one.
surgery.
That's right.
You know,
Joey
Ryan did.
Ryan also committed career suicide.
Oh yeah, those guys will wrestle in
What's his
Puerto
name
Rico for the rest of their
also?
lives.
The British guy who used to team with Kip Sabian committed.
Yeah, he did. I forget his name.
Jimmy,
Jimmy Havoc.
He
yeah.
was in AEW too in the very
Yeah.
beginning.
Yeah. He's out of wrestling. He got rid of the business. Yeah, he's gone.
That other guy, Jack, the cruiserweight guy, Jack.
Jack Evans.
Yeah, he also killed his. But again, to show how fickle and ridiculous wrestling journalism is, there is a wrestler that was also sort of a part of the Me Too thing, but kind of funny when he's still working in New Japan and now signed to AEW. Will Ospreay.
They'll accuse everybody. Apparently, Matt Riddle got accused of that too by some indie wrestler.
Yeah, yeah. Why did he get fired again from WWE?
I don't know why they released him.
He had a lot of real life problems going on that WWE didn't like.
Something like
And
that.
yet when I saw him show up at as much as he annoyed the shit out of me, just the way they made him look in New Japan was like, okay, this is a different Riddle.
Yeah, they made him come off like a heel. It was great.
Yeah, but none of this bro shit and
No, he didn't do the bro thing. He did he was like proper. It was great.
And I mean, Rod said he had a good in-ring match too. So
I believe it. I'm actually going to watch that card in a little while. The MLW one, just for curiosity.
I just feel like
on my hands.
WWE, they made him a goofy idiot.
Yeah,
They did. Yeah.
I mean, he was doing indie shit before WWE.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. I want to eat lunch.
Rod's not coming back. It was still a good time. Good episode, Dom.
It was a good time.
Being our guest. I'm glad we were able to chat a little World's End and get your thoughts.
I guess we have to let Rod know.
I am.
We have to tell him the bad news for Rod.
Yeah, we
What's
do.
that?
Rod's out. Dom's in.
All right.
All right. I'm good with that.
I'm all about it.
The thing about Rod is that for some reason, whoever's watched us do our shit, Rod's the one who gets talked about the most.
Because he's such a freaking kayfabe guy, and everybody finds it hilarious. All our guests who's the kayfabe guy? We're like, Rod. He goes, this guy's great. This guy's your show. It's not me. It's not Jay. It's Rod.
Well, if we do put a pin on it, I want you to tell me that story once you sign off.
Oh, I will tell the story. Yes. Now, let's not let's not disparage people. But I will. It's not an appropriate time. But I will tell you guys the story.
Not an appropriate time.
Excuse me.
That's just to randomly hear that shit.
Yeah.
We'll have you back because I have more questions for you about your fan.
Part 2 of this, absolutely.
All right, sounds awesome.
Part 2.
I want to quickly ask: are you in the business at all, or are you just a fan?
I'm just a fan.
Okay.
He's me and Rod's buddy. He's one of
I've known them for over at least 15 years now, almost, right?
Like that, yeah, probably. I met Rod in 2009, so I probably met you in passing around the same time.
Yeah.
Wait, so you met me before you met Rod?
Yes.
That's weird.
Not so much after, but around a little bit before Rod, yeah.
Didn't you meet me in 2007, 2008?
Yeah, I met Rod in 2009.
Yeah, and I met Chuck right after.
Yeah, probably around that same era.
Yeah.
I was a Long Island guy before I was a Florida guy. That's how I know Chuck. Because of my work in Radio X and hosting half of the shows that Chuck played.
Like so many of them.
Nice.
On all his shows, and you didn't even book me. And I just happened to be there.
Yeah, right. I stage manage those shows too, so.
Yeah, that's true.
But
Yeah,
anyway.
good old days.
All right. So what are we doing here?
We're putting a pin on this. We'll do a part 2, hopefully in a couple weeks. We'll get Dom back on, and the rest will be history.
Watch out for that COVID.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, you watch out for the COVID. We're good.
We got it. We're good for what, 3 months?
We're
I
recovering.
already had it, man. I had it. Watch COVID Part 1. That
Right.
episode was
That was a fun episode, though.
both Chuck and I had it at the same time.
Yeah, that was a fun episode. The COVID episode.
Then this is the second COVID episode.
COVID Part 2.
Yeah.
But all right, well, I guess we'll let the Tama fan not come back. I don't know what the hell he's doing.
Forget the Tama fan. He's MIA. I've been trying to hit him up. He's MIA.
He's gone.
Since he's not
We'll
here,
finish it, and we'll let Rod interact with Mr. Ruffles, aka Dom, more. By the way,
well, should we just spoil the fact that Rod might be an entry in the Royal Rumble? Mr. Main Event might be an entry
in the Rumble. That's it.
Since he wasn't the devil.
Right. He wasn't the devil. He might be Mr. Main Event in the Rumble.
Yep. I don't know. What are we thinking? Like number 1 or number 30?
Number 27.
Yeah, probably. I was going to say you took the number out of my mouth. Probably. People are going to be looking, who the fuck is this dingling? Most overrated.
I just want to just keep saying it, man. Like, and then people are going to start believing it, and then
it'll actually happen. That we'll be like, "Yep, we told you."
Let's manifest it. Hot Rod's in the Royal Rumbles, Mr. Main Event.
Right.
Long-term storytelling.
And that would be long-term storytelling. That's like my big thing. I'm all about it too. I'm all about my long-term storytelling. I'm a marketer. And that would be. That's what a lot of things lack, long-term. Give it longevity. But gentlemen, I think it's time to put a pin. I just want everybody to know, thank you for listening, that this installment of Attention Wrestling Disorder was brought to you by Ruffles, the best ridge chip in the business.
I hope they sponsor us now that you did that.
I hope so too.
I'm expecting a whole thing of Ruffles in the mail now that you did that.
I got 2 bags. I'll send them over.
Does he actually work for Ruffles?
No, he just loves Ruffles. That's why we call him Ruffles.
There's a whole story behind that also.
Yeah, there's a whole story about that one. But on that note, gentlemen, any last thoughts? Any last words?
No.
Just stay tuned for what's coming up next. I guess next week at Dynamite, and get ready for Royal Rumble because Roman Reigns got a rude awakening that only Paul Heyman knew about, because we all knew that Aldis was going to make it a fatal 4-way.
That's the title of everything anyway. All right.
So, it's not going to change the outcome. He's still going to win, but yeah.
Exactly.
Question is Damian Priest going to cash in? Is Roman Reigns going to lose his title by Mania? Will we be able to see KO beat the shit out of that smug piece of garbage?
And will we ever see Rod again here on Attention Wrestling Disorder? Find out to know.
All right. Well, I'm good.
I'm good.
All right.
As always, we're just 2